Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In the previous video, we discussed about the monolithic architecture. In this video, we are going to cover about the microservice architecture. What are the advantages and disadvantages? So if you are developing any applications by using them, by following the microservice architecture. First, we'll recap the monolithic architecture. So monolithic architecture means, suppose now you have an application. So you can see in the image, now you have the different business operations. One is a user login, product catalog, shopping cart, payment, order management, admin portal. These are the six operations. These are the six operations. Six operations are the independent operations. Okay, so these six operations are we developed as a single unit and build as a single application and deploy as a single var. Okay, so this type of approach we are going to call as the monolithic architecture. Right now, same application, if we want to develop as a microservice based, what are the patterns we are going to follow, that we are going to understand. Okay, so now first, what is the microservice architecture? Microservice architecture is, so now we have the application, right? The application is split into a small independent service. Okay, small independent service. Each service handles a specific business functions and communication with other via APIs. What it means exactly, so that we are going to discuss now. Okay, now Microsoft's architecture means we are going to divide our application into a small independent services. Small independent services. Each service need to have the specific functionality. Okay, that need to focus on the only that specific functionality only. So that's what dividing the huge application into the smaller pieces. Okay, and if they want to interact each other, they are going to interact one, like the example in the above application, in the above screen. You have the application has a user log, that is a one business functionality. Product catalog, that is a one business functionality. Shopping cart, that is a one business functionality. Payment, that is a one business functionality. Order management, that is a one business functionality. Admin portal, that is going to be one business functionality. So in monolithic, these all business functionalities are developed as a single unit. But in case of the microservices, we are going to divide this business functionalities as a single service. Okay, each business functionality is going to divide as a single service. Okay, now if one service want to interact with other service, like user login want to interact with the product log, or maybe user product won't interact. So let's take one more example. Payment, product, payment and order management, they both want to interact each other. In this case, in normal monolithic, they are they are going to interact as a function calls, like method calls. Okay, order management directly call the function of the payment. If payment want to contact interact with order management, that will directly interact the function. Okay, but in case of the microservices, if payment want to interact with the order management, it will make a REST call. If order management want to interact with the admin portal, it will make a REST call. The communication will be happening through the REST calls. Okay, that's what the definition says. So you can read definition once again. The API is split into a small independent service. That's what we divided, right? And each service handles a specific business function. Okay, each service, whatever. Now, if you are dividing the application into multiple pieces, each piece can have the independent business service that need to focus on that particular purpose only. And if the function, business function, and a communication with other via APIs. So they are going to communicate via APIs. Okay, so now I will show you the diagram for this. See, now this is a microservice architecture. Now we divided the application into the multiple microservices. What are the microservices? What is the user login? That is a one microservices. Product catalog, that is one services. Shopping cart, one more microservices. So here now payment service, this is a one microservices. Payment, order management, admin portal, okay, admin panel service. Like this, When application grows, we are going to add, I mean, when application grows, they are going to add the new business functionality. If you are adding the new business functionality that is completely new, then we are going to add the one more services. Okay, the services are going to interact via REST. Okay, this is the microservices architecture. So then coming to the what is the pros of this microservice architecture? Scalability. Scalability scale only the service that needed. That means in the monolithic, you can, if you want to scale, definitely you need to scale the entire application. Okay, but in case of the microservices, you don't need to scale the entire application. So you know where the traffic will flow heavy. That part only you can scale it. Let's say an example in this diagram. So here we have the multiple services, right? So now multiple users are logging to the my system. Okay, the traffic is increases. That means I can increase only login microservices. Remaining all I don't need to scale it. Okay, I can able to scale only one specific service which has the more traffic. Okay, that is possible in the microservices cases. Next one is flexibility. What do you mean with flexibility? So now you divided the application into the multiple services, right? So each service can develop in the different languages. Okay, it can be developed in the different languages. For payment service it can be developed in Java. Some service it can be developed in the .NET, and some service it can be developed in any technology. So here we are not going to be particular about the technology. So we have the team, different teams, they can use a different technologies. Okay, that flexibility we have. So if we develop the application in different technologies, then our APIs are going to interact via REST calls, right? So that is a common JSON transfer REST. So that's why we don't face any problem. Okay. So resilience. A failure in one service don't bring down the whole app. What it means? That means like in previous, you entire entire applications contain all the business functionalities, right? So if anything happen, the entire application will be goes down. But here we are divided the application into the multiple services. Let's say an example. Here we have the around 7 services. For example, if admin panel service is down, okay, remaining application won't affect, only it will affect that particular part. That means the it's the only effect to the respective part only. Okay, the entire one failure won't bring the whole application down. Okay, faster development. So team can work independently. Like if we have the multiple services, each service is going to work with the different teams, and the development speed will be increases. So we can develop the applications very fast compared to the monolithic. So at the same time, if you are developing application of microservice architecture also, we have the some cons, but we can uh, I mean, these are the not, we cannot say exactly these are the cons, but these are the some factors we need to consider while we are developing the application. So one is the complexity. So if the number of services increases, so DevOps overhead, so deployment process will become hard, right? So in monolithic, one application, one time deployment. But in case of the microservices, we are going to have the multiple applications. We need to take care of the deployment of the all the services, deployment complexity. So this is a complexity. I mean, complexity we have. If you follow the proper automation mechanism like CI/CD, so it won't be effect. Okay, development and monitoring. So previously we have monolithic basis, we have the only one application, so we can simply monitor the single application. But in case of the microservices, we are going to have the multiple services. So multiple services means each service we need to track whether the application is up running or not. We need to monitor this. So this also we can monitor by using the automation mechanisms that we are going to explain later. So these are the some of the disadvantages we have, but we can overcome this by using the some functionalities. Okay, that we are like going to cover in the later video. Data management, this is one more factor. Okay, so let's say an example. we have the around a 9 services, right? In the 9 services we are going to have the some common data. Okay, that common data, that distributed data, common data, we are going to distributed data can be tricky to manage consistently. Why? Because we have the one common data, so we have the 9 services. The 9 services make it 9 service, any one service can do the update, right? Like this, when the multiple services are interacting this common data, maybe there is a chance of the maintaining inconsistency. So we have to maintain the proper mechanism to maintain the constant shareable data constantly across all the services. So that is one thing. Latency. So latency means now previously in monolithic application all the functionalities in the part of the single unit. That's why you are not going to call, you are not going to make any REST calls. You are going to directly call the method calls. That's why there is very few performance is very fast compared to the microservices. But in case of the microservices, if payment services want to interact with the order management service, they are going to interact via REST calls. The REST calls is going to through the network it is going to happen, right? Maybe there is a chance of the latency, network latency, slower. Okay, I hope you understand the microservices architecture also. In the next video, we are going to discuss about the what is the difference between the microservices and monolithics. And once we complete it, then we are good way to close the architecture discussion. And later we will discuss about the design patterns. So thank you for watching this video. So if you like the content, please subscribe.